with things that are absolutely grounded in making or losing real money based on real executions and the lessons I had to learn painfully. Painfully. And it took a lot for me to wrestle myself into submission, saying, okay, if I see these things, I'm not trying to prove myself in these conditions. I'm not trying to do that. I don't need to do that. In the past, I've hurt myself doing that. So I want to focus where I shine. I want to be visible when I know I have all of the things in my favor. And if I choose to operate all my trading like that, guess what that does? It refines you as a very mature, principle-oriented investor and trader. That means you're not out there just pushing the buttons for the sheer gamble and thrill of it. You're weighing out all the ramifications of your decisions. You're not limiting it to just a dopamine hit if you did it right. Are you really following a model? Because if you have a model that you're following, it's going to have certain measures of criteria like we're talking about here. There has to be something that frames a day that you are not allowed to touch. It cannot be open season every day. So the people that say, every day is a trading day, every day is a profitable day, you're listening to a gambler, period. Okay? They're training you to try to go in there on every instance, every single day because the market's trading, therefore you should go in there. No. Should you be in there engaging and studying price every day? Absolutely. But you should not have the mindset going in, you don't know what you're doing. You've never been profitable. You're learning. You should not have the expectation of going in every single day. No way. Absolutely not. No way. You're setting yourself up for unrealistic expectations never being met. And I know that isn't sexy to say those types of things. But that's the sound logic that a new student should adhere to in the beginning. And then when you finally get your model, you may have another model in addition to the one you subscribe to and use predominantly, but you'll have a very specific routine that you use that if it meets the criteria for trades, then you'll take it. When you take a step back over years of doing it, you're going to look back and say, you know what? That old motherfucker was right. He was talking truth, and I didn't want to receive it then because I want to trade every day. Because everyday trading is a legend, is a goat. I'm not trying to be a goat. I'm not trying to be a legend. I just want to be consistent. And I want to live my life and know that what I'm doing isn't going to drain me emotionally and psychologically. I'm not going to have regret. I don't like gambling. I hate gambling. If I liked gambling, I would play cards and I would probably win because I know I can count cards, I can run the cards up, I can stack a deck, I can do all that kind of stuff. I have built-in advantages, but I don't want to gamble. I don't go to casinos. I don't play the fucking lottery. Okay, I don't do none of those things. I don't do that stuff. But I do very boring things like watching these candlesticks behave at a specific time of day in an environment where it's conducive for it to be recognizable. That's it. And if you can't let the market pass you by and you feel like, man, I'm missing so much, that's highlighting impatience and greed. And those two things together, they're deadly. And you have to master them early. And that means by watching price and giving yourself permission. I'm not going to try to trade. Even if this thing keeps going, I don't care. Because the visibility is beyond just today. Caleb will not be able to trade every single day. His job won't allow for that. So a lesson like this helps him to ground himself, knowing that, okay, just because the market is trading and just because there are fluctuations in price and it's moving doesn't mean that I have to be in that day because his schedule, his workload, something else happening may prevent him from doing that. And I don't hear enough of that taught by these pseudo mentors, these educators. Everything's go, 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 go. Everything's maximum, maximum, maximum. Everything is trying to make money, make executions, make trades, get payouts. not realizing that these same individuals are making money off of you doing that and not being successful, because every single time you use an affiliate link, they're making money. And I mean that not to be vilified, not to, throw hate at them. I'm not throwing shade or anything. I'm just making you remember for a second. If the constant reminder is go, 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 baby, well, don't be surprised when it's gone in 30 seconds and you have to pay another reset fee. It's a built-in advantage for that. It's a built-in advantage for anybody with an affiliate link to get other people to do these very poor choices. Go out there and trade. I can teach you how to trade in X amount of days, 3 months, 4 months, 1 month, 1 week, 1 week workshop, one weekend. Spend a weekend with me and I'll teach you how to trade. Come on. At some point, you're gonna have to take a step back and say, okay, where's the motivation here? If I had an affiliate link with people, any one of these brokerage firms, and most of them have asked me, and I'm like, no, I won't do it. Can you imagine the influence that I have? And if I said, listen, here's the affiliate link, I could probably make millions of dollars doing that. And I'm not here doing that, am I? I'm spending time. I read a comment from a young man. I do need to cut off here because I gotta get something you haven't eaten today. He says, you know what? I like listening to you, and I love your long ones because it feels like I'm his dad, and I'm talking to him like a dad. And it's because as I'm talking this stuff, I'm picturing my kids, and I'm picturing Caleb as I'm obviously doing these live streams because that's my target audience. But I liked his comment where he's like, I like the fact that you are spending time. I live comfortably, okay? And when I said last week that I'm a millionaire, that was not me bragging. I'm just reminding folks that I don't have to go to a job. I don't have to do I don't need to trade ever again. Like, I never need to do this ever again. I don't ever need to press a button and hope to make money. I don't need to do any of that stuff. But he says something that I've said this many times in passing when people would be upset with me because I wasn't doing enough. He stated that he's thankful that I'm in the position I'm in and I don't have to make this available to you. Like, I don't need to spend my time in front of you. But I think you can appreciate that I enjoy it, right? Like, I love doing this. Like, I love it. And really, I'm not getting a lot. There's the ad revenue, that's not a lot. Like, it costs a lot of money to live like I live. I spent $30,000 on my lawn in the last 45 days because of the drought and the things I wanted to get done. I had some lighting put around the outside the house. That's $33,000 I spent. 3,000 plus of it was just basically paying for the lawn care each week, but everything else was stuff it's been done to my home. Okay, I spent over $100,000 in the last 9 months just for things for my house, and my wife is constantly looking. She's constantly looking for shit that we don't need. Okay, so I don't need this for money, but I do enjoy doing it. And once I start doing it, because it's my whole life, I enjoy doing it and I want to pour myself into it. And because I want my son to have every aspect, every subtle nuance, that's why it's here. So when you send me comments, for the few little soy boys that do this, say, you talk too much. You talk too much for a grown man. I broom you because you're insignificant. You're a nobody that's never going to be successful at this because you can't appreciate complete understanding being shared with you. You can watch everybody else out there, but they're not going to explain to you why and when it's going to happen. You're not going to get that. They might get lucky once in a while chasing a momentum run, but you're never going to hear them explain beforehand why it should do this and it be this precise. You won't hear them explain why they don't like a certain market condition, because that means you're going to be doing little or less or not watching them. I don't care if you watch my stream. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if this viewership drops down to 1, because that's my son watching. He asked for this. I didn't ask for this. He asked for it. So I'm pouring myself into this. And he'll tell you, if any one of my kids were to be candid with you and say, look, we don't like asking dad questions because it's going to take an hour for him to explain shit. So it's not just this. If I know something, I'm going to make sure you had enough interest to ask me, knowing full fucking well that I am a mouth. I will talk and talk and talk and talk. Not because I like the sound of my voice, but because I want you to know that you know. You asked. If I understand it and I know the question and then I know the answer to it, I'm going to pour myself into that. You're going to know. You'll never need to ask that question again. But now he's asked about trading and the markets. So yes, Virginia, we're going around the mountain the long fucking way, okay? Because I want him to know everything. Because tomorrow is not promised to me. I could be taken out of here tomorrow. Lord says, you know what? It's done. You don't need to get tomorrow. You get today. That's it. He could take me right now. And then he's only got everything I've ever recorded in all of my journals. And those journals are not going to be decipherable by just reading them. I can place them in any one of your hands and you're not going to understand shit because the language that I'm using in it is not something I taught to you or anyone else. So it's not something that it's an easy download and it's there. He's got to go through the same growth that any one of you have gone through. The difference is I'm not holding back anything. Whereas I've held back a lot because it's been abused. It's been marketed by people to make money. Some asshat still trying to sell mentorship videos when it's still right here on the YouTube channel for free. And the people that paid that person are stupid. They're fucking stupid. Like if you're literally paying anything for any smart money concepts, ICT related anything, if you're paying for that, you're an idiot. Like I'm literally here right now teaching over live data. And I've uploaded the mentorship videos on the YouTube channel. They're in the playlists. I don't get it. And there's people email me every day. Can you do another paid mentorship? Why? I'm doing more than I did here than I did for them. Let it sink in. I'm literally doing this with no reservations. I'm telling you what's going to happen, how to use the information, very specific elements to the macros, to these inefficiencies, how to get the bias. That's a straight shot. And I still have people. Can you tell us how to do a daily bias? And that's all I've been teaching thus far. What are you listening to? But anyway, we're on 1 minute chart. Let's back out of this, go up to a daily chart, and I'll take one quick peek at it. Leave you with any commentary in regards to where it might still reach for, and then we'll close it and I'll have lunch. Alrighty. So here's the volume imbalance I took your attention to earlier. We've traded to that and through it. This up close candle right here, you want to measure that to the high. Okay, so that's mean threshold. So 19,255. I'm not saying it's going there, but let's just say that it wants to keep going higher and go beyond the previous new week opening gap, which is high, the high here. You see it right there, where we stopped trading and we opened the next trading session. That's, you can see that level here. That's a level to look for to trade to, and then the middle or mean threshold of that up close candle prior to that drop down, that midpoint right there. Now, if we start exploring anything above that 255 level, then they're going to want to run this high. And where does that leave us? This right here. That's a huge disparity between where we closed here and where we opened there. That's a huge gap. So longer term, if they want to pump this up, and it can happen because it's an election year, barring anything really catastrophic taking place over in the Middle East, it would be reasonable to see it want to take this high and maybe even go up into this area here. But I'm not demanding that. I'm not holding for something like that. but for the sake of just pointing your attention to something, because, you know, without any real bad news, without any mushroom clouds popping off, you know, any terrible things like that occurring, they're going to try to keep pumping this up because it's in their vested interest to make it look like the economy is good, and everybody thinks the economy is measured by the stock market, and it's not. They're not. That's not a real value. The volume imbalance here, that would be the highest extreme for this year at the present. Right now, looking at the chart, if it were going to go up from where we're at now any higher, the highest that I would want it to go to and feel comfortable and reasonably expecting it to do so would be that volume imbalance right here. Okay. Am I saying it's going to go there? No. I'm saying for the folks that have asked this question because they can't trade with intraday charts, they want to know this. You know, if you were looking at the daily chart, how far can it go? Because they can only trade longer term and they use a daily chart. So for the people that are bitching, complaining about this stuff, and saying, why are you talking about this? I don't care about this. You're not my only student. And for the people that take the time to write that kind of stuff, I never get to see your comments again. So just know that you can say anything you want in your last day because I never see your stupid shit again. But liquidity rests here and it volume imbalance is there. And I think that's it. This is all based on the fact that we didn't see anything pop off with Iran and Israel to a greater degree. That's what this is. This is kind of like a relief. It's just being organized in sentiment that, okay, everything's safe right now. Does it stay that way? Who knows? All it takes is the right thing dropping in the right place and all hell breaks loose. So barring any of those types of things, we're probably going to continue keep pressing up and challenging you know, the midpoint of that inefficiency, and therefore just stick with the underlying narrative and don't try to fight it. Otherwise, I will be back with you all again tomorrow. I do not absolutely want to spend this much time tomorrow. I know some of you complain that the videos are too long and you can't digest them because it's too much because you work and you have a life. I get it. But remember, I'm not here for just you. I'm here for a complete overview, a complete rundown, everything, because it's my son. That's who I'm talking to. It might feel like I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to Caleb. So you're just here listening. You're over, you know, you're eavesdropping. You're eavesdropping by invitation. Just remember that. So you're a guest and you don't get to tell me what you want. You can, but I don't need to ever see your comments ever again. But that's why it's a long way around the mountain, because it's my son asking, and I want him to have all the details, all of the ramifications that will be met by him in his development, all of the circumstances that will feel daunting, all the things and how to get around it, how to cope with it, how to feel normal in it, how to look beyond it. That's what I'm including. This is me mentoring my son. And I don't want insight from any of you because I don't care to know what you think I should do. You're not going to give it any better than me. I'm who I am, and I'm his dad. So no one's going to have the right answer beyond me. So while I appreciate your enthusiasm and trying to feel like you're having an input in it, you don't get an input. You just get a seat to sit here and watch it, and nobody's twisting your arm. So that's going to be it. I've had fun. I've shared a lot of stuff today. I think I've communicated but rather effectively that you don't have to do something every single day. You don't have to know everything if it's going against the grain that you are outlining for your model. Be flexible with yourself. Give yourself permission in the beginning and just relax. After it happens, after it forms, go back in and study what was presented and hold nothing over your head as a punishment saying, well, I should have saw that. Because in the beginning, you shouldn't. You're learning how to do that. And over time, you'll pick it up. I promise, son, you will get this. But you have to take things bite size at a time. And eventually, you'll have more experience. You'll start finishing my sentences like you do when we're talking about the Bible. And all these things will start to become second nature to you. And when it's like that and it's boring and you're not in a rush to get in there and show dad that you can do this, that's a huge goal. But we're not in a rush to get there. Don't think that I need to see that anytime soon, but that's where we're aiming for. We're aiming for you knowing where the market's going to go. Once we get there, then we can start fleshing out some more stuff. But until tomorrow, 9:15 or so, Lord willing, I will talk with you all then. Be safe.